Hi, my name is Haley Parker. This is my father, Hudson Parker, and this is my mom, Nicole Parker. And I'm doing an inquiry project on multiple sclerosis, is what my dad has. He was diagnosed with it in 2000, and I'm here to interview him so he can tell you and you can experience a little bit about what he goes through with his disease. And my mom is here to also help with any other questions that might be asked. Okay. So Dad, what is multiple sclerosis?
Multiple sclerosis is a disease that attacks your body, and excuse me, excuse me, that's a bad disease. That when I first got it, didn't know what it was, and I had to go to a doctor to let him tell me what it was. And I found out I had multiple sclerosis, and I said, okay, what does that mean? You got multiple sclerosis. There's a process that you go through because initially, when I was the diseases I was having, I was in the point when I couldn't use my bodily functions, like trying to throw. I couldn't throw. It's like now I gotta. It's really a challenge just to throw something. So it was like, wow, what is this? I can't walk. But I can walk. But I can't walk real good. And I can't run, which ain't good. But I can do it. So it's just a disease process. And it grows as I get older. The disease gets older, and the disease gets worse. And hopefully, none of my children will have to deal with the disease.
So, Mom, what have you experienced as, I guess, a wife and having to deal with his disease, and what have you noticed that has changed with him over the past couple of years?
Well, yes, he was diagnosed, as you said, in 2001. And early signs of the disease. Well, first of all, multiple sclerosis is a disease of the central nervous system. It attacks the brain and um, uh, basically anywhere the lesions grow in the brain, that part of the body, the signal that goes to that part of the body doesn't work anymore. For example, he's got a lot of lesions on the part of the brain that controls his walking and his memory. So his frontal lobe cognition, self-awareness, that's damaged. So he's not quite aware of what he's capable of, what he's not capable of. In his mind, he's capable of driving and running, but he's not physically able to do that. It also has attacked his short-term, long-term memory. So he's forgotten a lot of dates, events, people, ages. Sometimes he can't even remember what he ate for lunch the same day. So that just depends. And it started with him feeling some tingling on his extremities, pins and needles. We ignored it initially, maybe thought it was a circulation problem. And it continued, and we went to see a neurologist. And they did an MRI and saw some lesions on his brain, which was his very first diagnosis of MS. And it started getting progressively worse with dragging one leg, then taking medication. He's taken a series of pretty much all the medication that was available just until 2010 when the FDA approved the oral pill Gilenya, which is what he's on now. And it's sustaining him. It's not really, we haven't seen any improvements, but it hasn't gotten much worse. He is declining a little bit at a time, but it hasn't gotten much worse. He it got to a point where after he took the medication, that part of his body wasn't repaired. So drag a leg, go take the medication, and he still continued to drag the leg to the point where it wouldn't work anymore. Then it was the other leg. Then he had problems writing. Then we saw fading of his memory, and so now he is suffering with dementia and is legally incompetent. So he can't make any decisions for himself. He's not managing any of his personal affairs, and he requires 24/7 care long term. So he's considered permanent and totally disabled. And his long-term prognosis is that that will not get better. It will slowly, slightly get worse over a period of time. Over what period of time? Who knows? So we're just making the best out of it. Multiple sclerosis doesn't kill anyone, so I don't know on record if multiple sclerosis has ever killed anyone. So it's not a disease that gets you to a point where you die. Most people that don't make it, they basically give up. They give up hope because it does attack you in the prime of your life, and it really, really alters the quality of life where you can't do anything for yourself. So they give up, they become depressed, and they just notice all the things that they may or may not be missing out on. So that is pretty much what I've noticed, what I've experienced. We've been married for 26 years, and 5 of those years he has been in long-term care for 24/7 care. But he's doing okay. He's suffering from some additional illnesses that come with the loss of the use of your limbs, legs and arms, and so gaining a significant amount of weight, and is on a lot of medication. But he is on the recently approved Gilenya, FDA approved pill, which is sustaining him, and he remembers some things. So I'm here to assist and help answer questions that you ask him that maybe he doesn't remember or doesn't quite get correct. I'll make sure that you've got the correct information on record.